wrong, my dear. Because since you've been away. I don't even know the words. You guys, look at my freaking stomach out. Did you all see the Michael Jackson movie and love it like I did? I really freaking hope so. Because I was having a great time in the movie theater. Dancing and singing, and it was fantastic. Truly no notes. Is the second movie confirmed? I don't know, but if it is, I'm really freaking excited for the second movie. You guys, it's been a minute since I last recorded a podcast, and I'm always saying, well, I mean, technically last time I said I would try to be more consistent, but I never promised anything. But I always think I'm gonna be better, and then I never am. So that's really cool, but we're here now, and we're home for the summer. How crazy is that? Super glad to be home and have some downtime. I was really just ready to be done with school. But yeah, back with another episode. I know you missed me. Okay, that was weird. Anyway, so hello and welcome back to the Dysfunctional podcast. So I saw a TikTok recently, and it kind of inspired what we're going to be talking about today. It's basically just of a girl, and I don't remember what she was doing, but it said, guarding your heart doesn't mean you have to numb it. And I was like, that would actually be a really good podcast topic. Like, I could talk about that for a good amount of time. I feel like a common misconception among Christians when the Bible says guard your heart is that we have to be like closed off towards everyone. But I don't feel like Christians alone are struggling with this problem. I feel like it's a pretty common problem, especially in my generation. So today we're going to be talking about what exactly it means to guard your heart, and what this common misconception about guarding your heart has caused in society. So first, what does it mean exactly to guard your heart? I'm a Christian, so of course I'm going to be talking about the Bible verse which focuses on this. Proverbs 4:23 says, above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. And I feel like this kind of emphasizes the idea of giving the right people access to our hearts. And we want to make sure we're doing this because our thoughts, emotions, and motivation come from it. People you just met or can't necessarily trust shouldn't have full access to your heart, and we have to protect our hearts by being mindful of who exactly we let in or give access to that part of us. Because letting in the wrong people, romantically or even not romantically, can be very damaging to our hearts that God created so carefully and mindfully. Some of us had to learn this the hard way by trusting the wrong people with our hearts and then getting hurt or heartbroken later. So what has the misconception about this verse caused? I feel like the misconception about this verse has caused people to change or numb the heart that God has given them to fit into society, which we all know is flawed in many ways. I'm someone who feels pretty much everything very deeply, which is something I've definitely had to learn to love about myself because it can be hard at times. And because of this quality that I have when I ask people for advice or I'm scrolling online, I feel like I'm often fed this idea of, oh, you just like don't have to care about other people. And this is a very common narrative that has filled society and social media, and I feel like it has affected many of our relationships because we're constantly being told not to care. And I feel like this narrative has kind of created a pressure to just ignore our instincts and try our best not to care about other people or to pretend that we don't care. And in my opinion, I feel like this has created a lack of substance in relationships because we're all acting like we don't care about the person we're talking to or interested in. You guys are probably gonna laugh at me, but the nonchalant trend is a big problem to me. Like, in all serious, like, I'm being so for real. I think one of the most unattractive things a man can do is not care, and I'm sure a lot of girls feel the same way. I think we're just not really talking about it, and even guys on the flip side, I'm sure some of you can think I'm not really like necessarily attracted to someone who is acting like they don't care. And I understand some people have more chill personalities, they're not super expressive, but if you are someone who is trying so hard to act like you don't care about someone, that is so embarrassing. And just so everyone knows, people are very nosy, and there are a lot of people, including myself, who can read people very well. So if you are like trying to act all nonchalant and you think that makes you look cool, there's people who are gonna notice that that is literally an act, and it's giving everyone the ick. It's giving everyone who notices it the ick. Like, you're seriously trying to act, you're trying so hard to act like you don't care. It's weird. It's weird behavior. I'm sorry. I'm really not about it. As humans, we are conditioned to care about things. So, if you are trying to act like you don't care about anything, I know that's not 100% true unless you are like a psychopath. Society tries to make us believe that caring is a bad thing or it's an embarrassing thing, but in all reality, it's such a rare and beautiful thing to have people in the world who genuinely care about other people. If you are someone who feels everything very deeply and cares for people so deeply, I want you to never change. That is such a gift. If you've been hurt in the past, someone is going to come along and they are going to love that about you. I can promise you that. So if you're someone who feels deeply, like I said, that is such a gift, and you should be embracing that. It's a very, very scary thing to feel deeply in the world that we live in, but I genuinely feel like if we were all a little bit more caring towards one another, the world would be such a better place. And I don't want to make it sound like having a big heart is all butterflies and rainbows, because it comes with its challenges. Sometimes we may care too much about the small things in life, or things that really aren't going to matter down the line, but they seem like such a big deal in the moment. Personally, I've learned a lot of lessons because I feel things very deeply and I care about people very deeply, and that can open a door for you to get taken advantage of by other people. But you learn from those experiences and you figure out where you went wrong and you try not to repeat them. Overall, though, it's such a gift to feel deeply because God trusted you with such a big heart. It's such a blessing, and I feel like we need to start viewing caring as an amazing thing rather than something that's a burden or annoying. Yes, feeling deeply can mean you feel negative emotions like sadness or anger very deeply, but you're also able to experience positive emotions like joy, excitement, and happiness in a very deep way, which is such a privilege and blessing. So, moral of the story, caring is cool, and acting like you don't care, because we all care about something, let's be for real, is lame and embarrassing. So that's all I have for today, and I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I hope you got something out of it. I know it was a short one, but that's all I have to say. So I'm not going to yap any further. I'm not going to waste your time. But thank you for listening, and I appreciate you. I love you, and I will see you next time I record a podcast. Bye!